Legend of Yufei, Chapter 62.
And the source sets this up, this tragedy orchestrated by Qinhui, with this just devastating poem right at the start. Something like, autumn moon and spring breeze flow like water, merit, wealth. Where are they now?
That opening poem is so important. It's about how fleeting everything is power status. Yufei's merit, his achievements, they're gone in an instant politically. What's left is the danger, the very real, immediate threat to his family. We're watching them grapple with that. Reality power vanishes, but persecution, that's instant.
Let's start with the very first warning signs, even before they got the official news.
Right. The family is already incredibly worried. Yufei and General Zhang Bao, they've been detained, no word for too long. And then their anxiety just spikes when the family fortune teller, this Wang Bi, she actually collapses during a session.
It collapses, and she claims she was, what, pushed by a spirit? That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it describes this figure, gold helmet, gold armor, holding a steel whip. Really vivid, really ominous. And she tells the family they must go pray at the most responsive Great King's shrine. It signals this danger isn't just earthly.
And the timing, you mentioned this before, it's a lantern festival, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be lights, celebration, family time. But the Yu household, total despair. They won't even hang the lamps. That tells you how dark things felt already.
So they're in this state of dread, and then a Taoist priest shows up, insisting he has to see Lady Lai immediately.
That's the next major event. Yulei, the second son, goes out, but this Taoist just walks right past him, straight into the main hall. And it turns out he's not just any priest. He's Zhu Sanwei, the former Chief Justice of the Dali Temple.
The Chief Justice. Wow, so the highest judge, essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
And he explains why he's there, why he fled his post. Qinhui was pressuring him to help frame Yufei. He couldn't do it. The moral stain was too much. And then he delivers the news they've been dreading. It's fatal. Yufei, his son Yu Yun, and General Zhang Xian. They're dead.
The source says it hit them like a thunderbolt. Executed unjustly. Bangabo Pavilion, 29th day of the 12th month. But Zhu Sanwei isn't just there to offer condolences, is he? He has an urgent warning.
No, this is critical. He says, essentially, I'm not just here to report this tragedy. I'm here to save the marshal's bloodline. His message is stark. Quickly arrange for escape. Imperial envoys are coming soon to arrest everyone. This flips it instantly from grief to a desperate scramble for survival. The whole family is a target now.
And Lady Li's first reaction, it's just extraordinary. It really gets to that question you raised. What does loyalty mean when facing state terror? For her, it wasn't about saving herself first.
Not at all. Her first thought isn't gold, isn't jewels, isn't packing. She calls her daughter-in-law and tells her to immediately burn two things: all the outstanding IOUs, debts owed to the family, and crucially, all the servants' contracts. The Yu.
Let's pause on Yuhua. That's not just employment, right? That's bondage, actual ownership.
That's exactly it. It's a contract of servitude, sometimes passed down generations. By burning them, she's performing mass manumission on the spot, freeing everyone.
Why? Strategically, why do that first?
It's brilliant and humane. See, when the envoys arrive, the state seizes everything: land, money, people. If those servants are still bound by contract, they're property. They can be seized, enslaved, punished as part of the traitor's household. By freeing them, Lady Li protects them from being implicated. She even says, "My lord is dead, you're not our clan. Why should you suffer?" It's about principle, their humanity over property. Just amazing presence of mind.
Truly incredible. But then you have the flip side of loyalty from these four old retainers, Yuan, Yucheng, Yuding, Yubao. They refuse to be freed.
They absolutely refuse. For them, loyalty means fulfilling righteousness, their duty to the end. They pledge to go with Lady Lai to the capital, knowing full well it means arrest, probably death. They want to uphold the marshal's honor, even in disgrace. That's their definition of loyalty.
So you have these two powerful but opposing ideas of loyalty happening simultaneously: freedom versus shared fate.
Exactly. But then Yuan, one of those loyal retainers, he steps in and makes a crucial argument. He stops the family from just marching off to die together.
What does he argue?
He forces them to confront the paramount cultural duty, continuing the family line. He quotes the classic principle: lack of posterity is the greatest unfilial act. Basically, he says the marshal's honor, his legacy, the very thing the poem questioned, can only be truly restored if the lineage survives. Heroic martyrdom for everyone. That ends the line. It's political realism hitting hard.
So survival, strategic survival for the future, overrides that immediate, maybe emotional desire for collective martyrdom.
Precisely. And that leads to the difficult choice. The second son, Yulei, is chosen. He has to be the one to escape.
And he doesn't want to go. The text says he wants to stay, protect his mother. But he's essentially forced.
Yeah, they dress him in old clothes, give him some silver, a bundle, and importantly, a letter. This isn't just run for your life.
There's a plan.
A very specific plan. He's told to travel to Ningxia, seek refuge with Grand Guard Zongfeng. Zongfeng was an old, trusted friend of Yu Fei. This shows they're relying on established loyalties, personal connections, because the state is now the enemy. That relationship is their only real asset left.
So Yulei sets off, heading east, leaving his family behind to face the inevitable arrest. Just a gut-wrenching scene.
It really is. But while this calculated, tragic escape is underway, there's this other threat. Completely different energy, almost chaotic.
Right. Let's talk about Tong. He's about to burst onto the scene.
Tong is such a memorable character. Only 15, son of General Gel's wife. Nicknamed the golden-haired commander, Shinaf.
Why the nickname?
Apparently dark-skinned, but with noticeable yellow hair, or maybe body hair. The text isn't perfectly clear. But the main thing, immense physical strength, raw power, and fiercely loyal.
Okay, so where does he fit in?
Well, he's at his Uncle Jin General's birthday party. This is just a few days after the news hit the Yu family. And word reaches the party, not necessarily confirmation of death yet, but definitely the framing, the danger, the imminent arrests targeting the Yu family.
And Tong's mother has an idea.
She does. Knowing her son's strength, she suggests sending him immediately to the Yu estate and Jiangsu to try and rescue one of the sons, get someone out. But the elders there, they're cautious. Military types. They want to wait for more details and official report, planned properly.
Which sounds sensible, except Tong is not the sensible type.
Not when it comes to loyalty. He completely rejects waiting. He sees any delay as fatal. He has this great line complaining about the elders, calls them an impatient illness, meaning a slow doctor. He thinks waiting for perfect information means failing the Yu brothers.
Okay, so he's all action. What does he do?
He doesn't wait for permission, for plans, not even for daylight. That very evening, he just sneaks out, takes nothing but a small bundle, a short stick, no horse, no servant. He claims his own feet are faster anyway. It's pure, impulsive, physical loyalty.
So completely different from the Yu family's careful plan for Yulei. Tong is just relying on speed and strength.
Entirely. It highlights the different ways people react in crisis, doesn't it? The high officials and elders rely on networks, strategy like sending Yulei to Zongfeng. But this young, passionate loyalist, he relies on his own power, his own speed, brute force, and determination.
So the race begins. Tong is charging towards the Yu estate. Does he make it in time?
He gets there incredibly fast, bursts into the hall, and finds Lady Lei. She confirms the worst. Yu Fei, Yu Yun, and General Zhang Xian, Zhang Bao, all dead. He's arrived too late to prevent the main tragedy or save the whole family from arrest. He missed that strategic window.
Oh, the timing. Is Yulei already gone?
Just. Lady Lei tells him Yulei left that very morning for Ningxia. Tong missed him by maybe hours.
Wow, hours. That just underscores how tight that escape window was, a knife's edge.
It really does. The difference between capture and escape was literally half a day's travel.
So what does Tong do now? Does he give up? Go home?
Absolutely not. That's not Tong. He hears Yulei went east. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't restock, nothing. He immediately turns around and sets off east in pursuit. He's banking on that speed he boasted about, hoping he can catch up to Yulei before something happens to him on the road.
Imperial officials Feng Yong and Feng Zhao show up with the arrest decree. They're ready to take everyone. But before Madame Yu, the marshal's wife, even comes out, someone else steps forward. Zhang Ying, the son of Zhang Bao.
And he's a character, only 13 or 14 years old, but the text describes him as, powerfully built, full of knots or lumps is the phrase used. Apparently he was already known as the flower-spotted little leopard because of his physique and maybe his temper too.
And this is where it gets wild. Instead of hiding, he shouts like a thunderclap, stops the officials in their tracks, and then he demands to know how they plan to make the arrest. Is it going to be civil, respectful, or military, meaning cages and chains?
It's incredible audacity, isn't it? A teenager dictating terms to imperial officers. He totally flips the script. And he doesn't just ask, he lays down a threat. He says if they go military, he'll beat their dog heads in first, and then go straight to the emperor to complain. Talk about high stakes.
Yeah, and he backs it up. He doesn't just talk. He grabs a heavy door bolt described as being, almost 2 chase thick, and just snaps it, breaks it over his knee right in front of him.
That display of strength changes everything, instantly. The lead emissary, Feng Zong, is terrified. He immediately says, okay, civil arrests, definitely civil. But, and this is key, Madame Yu still gives them silver, 300 taels. So the threat set the terms, maybe, But the money,
Yeah.
they guaranteed they'd stick to it. It ensured, safer passage for the family, all 300 or so of them being taken away.
Amazing. A kid using intimidation and, well, good of bribery to negotiate with the state. So the family's escorted off, the villagers are weeping. It's a heavy scene, but it makes you wonder, okay, that worked at home with that physical presence. What about out on the road, alone? Which brings us to Yule, the marshal's second son. He's fleeing, completely distraught, ends up in a place called Seven Treasures Town. He stops at an inn, and this is where he makes a really rookie mistake.
Oh, yeah. Big mistake. He's settling his bill, and he just opens his silver pouch right there, leaves a big pile, 20 or 30 taels out in the open. In that kind of situation, showing you have money when you're alone and clearly vulnerable, that's like painting a target on your back.
Definitely. And someone notices. A local wealthy guy, Han Kalong, sees him from across the street. He immediately thinks, this kid's going to get robbed. Or worse, darkly calculated against, as the text puts it. So Han Kalong invites him over to his place, pretending he just wants to offer some travel advice.
Smart move by Han Kilong. But Yule is understandably suspicious. He gives a fake name, Zhang Long. So Han Kalong has to show his cards. He explains why he's helping. His own father had served under Marshal Yufei and made him promise on his deathbed never to forget the debt the family owed the marshal.
So it's about honor, that old connection. And Han Kilong proves it, right? He doesn't just say it.
No, he gives concrete proof. He takes Yule into his main hall and shows him a longevity tablet, a shrine, basically dedicated to Marshal Yufei. It's right there.
Wow, that's powerful proof.
It is, and it works. Yule breaks down, admits who he is, the second young master. He tells Han Kilong about his father and older brother being killed, how he's running for his life. They swear brotherhood right then and there, and Han Kilong gives him shelter. It really shows how loyalty, that kind of deep respect, could bridge gaps and offer safety. It wasn't just about blood ties.
A totally different kind of power at play there. Social connection, historical debt.
Yeah.
So from strategy and social capital, we pivot to something completely different. Pure, unrestrained force. Enter New Tong.
Right. New Tong, another loyalist, he's actually trying to track down Yule. He's been running hard 2 or 3 days straight. He bursts into a wine shop, absolutely famished.
And the scene is just mayhem waiting to happen.
Completely. He orders the most appetizing food they have, eats everything, orders more, washes it down with like 10 bowls of wine. Then comes the bill. New Tong just waves it off, says he's Lord Taisui, invoking a fearsome deity, and promises he'll pay on his way back.
Uh-huh. I can see where this is going. The shop owner isn't having it.
Not at all. The owner gets mad, throws a punch.
And New Tong
doesn't even flinch. According to the source, he laughs. Tells the owner the punch was so weak he must not have eaten.
Okay, this guy is something else. What happens next? The staff gets involved.
Yep. Everyone piles in servers, cooks hitting him with fists, palms. The text is ping, pang, peepar, just a flurry of blows. And New Tong, still unmoved. He actually tells them he appreciates it. Says his back was sore from running and they're giving him a nice pounding. Meanwhile, they're hurting their own hands and feet trying to hit this guy. It's almost comical, his invulnerability.
So he's basically treating a full-on brawl like a spa treatment. Unbelievable physical resilience, but that can't last forever, can it?
Well, his physical dominance continues for a bit longer. A local bigwig, a Yuanwai, happens to be riding past on his horse. The shop owner, probably desperate, calls him over for help. The Yuanwai gets off his horse, confronts New Tong, and New Tong just insults him, tells him colorfully, it's none of your bird business.
Okay, that's not going to end well. Does the Yunwei have guards?
He does. About 20 or 30 of them. He orders them to attack.
And New Tong versus 30 guards.
No contest. New Tong just pushes them away, like shoves 6 or 7 aside with one hand, 3 or 4 with the other, effortlessly.
Good grief. So the Yuanwei steps in himself.
He does. Lands 7 or 8 punches, which New Tong apparently barely feels. New Tong's response. He just grabs the Yuanwei around the waist like a wrestler, carries him out of the shop, and dumps him in the street, then walks off, probably thinking he's won.
He just tossed the local official.
Okay.
But it's not over, is it?
Not quite. This is where strategy finally comes in. New Tong walks maybe 20 or 30 houses down the street.
Yeah.
And the Yuanwei is back. But this time he's got more men, 40 or 50 now, and they're armed with steel whips. They start yelling insults, calling New Tong a yellow-haired little thief.
Ah, the rematch. More men, better weapons.
But the key isn't the weapons, really. It's the plan. As New Tong raises his own weapon, a short rod, to fight back, 2 guys hidden on the side suddenly throw down benches right at his feet.
Oh, they tripped him.
Exactly. A simple coordinated trap. He goes down, and the second he hits the ground, they're all over him. pinned down, tied up with ropes, and dragged off to the Yuanwai's manor for questioning. Captured.
Wow. So the guy who couldn't be hurt by punches, who tossed guards around like dolls, gets taken down by a couple of benches.
And that really crystallizes the point, doesn't it? You compare him to the 13-year-old Zhang Ying back at the mansion. Zhang Ying used cleverness, a threat, and one broken door bolt to win his negotiation. New Tong, this powerhouse, was physically unstoppable in a straight fight, but he was defeated almost instantly by basic tactical thinking. Raw strength just wasn't enough when faced with a coordinated plan.